Welcome back to the third episode of our podcast. I'm Anamika, your host for the day. Joining us today will be Professor of Fashion Design at Inspire Knowledge Campus, Professor Payal Kumari. Thank you for joining us today, ma'am. Shall we begin?
Thank you so much, Anamika. Yes, we should start.
Ma'am, what is the educational background that is required for any individual to be interested in pursuing a career in fashion design?
For somebody who wants to pursue a very active and successful career in fashion design, they need obviously a relevant qualification, something that has the background of fashion and creativity, and they need to go for studies which includes fashion designing or designing, which will equip them with the creative knowledge and the ability to design something of the knowledge where they know how to design creative skills like drawing, sketchings and paintings, and this will help a lot of them.
Could you tell us in an elaborate fashion on the subjects that aspiring fashion designers must study during this course?
So during the course, the first subject that we start with is the basics of textile. That's the textile science. And along with the textile, we teach them how to draw. That is very fundamental. We teach them design principles. Again, design principle is something which is very fundamental and common to all of the designers all over the world, and every designer has to learn all of them, design principles and how to implement them in their designs. Apart from illustration, design fundamentals, we have pattern making, we have garment construction, and just as the course progresses, we have more mature subjects like fashion merchandising and journalism, photography, we have visual merchandising, and we have fashion buying and some of the other subjects as well.
Is drawing considered an essential subject in fashion design, and what are the prerequisites?
There is no measure for creativity. So whether you are good and proficient in sketching and drawing has nothing to do with your being very creative or not. It is not an instrument or any scale where you are judged whether you should be going for this course or not. As long as you are creative, as long as you are expressive of your ideas and imaginations, even if they do not have this skill set where they do not know how to draw, how to sketch, how to paint, we are there in the during the course curriculum. We teach them how to. But obviously it's an added advantage if you have drawing and painting skills.
What exactly is fashion design all about? Or how important is it to have a career in fashion design, to get a degree in it?
Most of the people, they do not have awareness about this course. So this course is very professional. There is too many of science, too much of design and too much of innovation going on around in this industry. So people think that we are just cutting and we are sewing, and it's nothing like that. We also predict fashion for everywhere around the world. Those people are called fashion forecasters. It's not just cutting and just sewing them, and that's not what makes your clothes. There's a lot of science behind it.
Is how big do you think is the fashion design industry? What is the economic scope and value of it, of having a skill set like being a fashion designer? What do you think? How do you think has the industry grown in the last few years, and how relevant is this course, and the people that are going to enter the industry now? What do you think is the scope for them?
So if I talk about Indian scenario, so our exports in the year 2021-22 have grown very much at its peak, and the textile exports from India have always been looked upon. And if I talk about the relevance of this course in today's era, it's very much relevant, and so the industry will always be afloat.
What are the career prospects for an individual in fashion designing or studying this course?
Alright, so career prospects are varied, and obviously the most common one is being a fashion designer yourself, being an entrepreneur, opening up your own business. Or the other common one that people usually go for is assisting a fashion designer. That's assistant fashion designer, AFD. So that is also a one common one. But the uncommon ones are those like where you are a textile scientist, where you are a fashion forecaster, where you are a visual merchandiser, you are a fashion buyer, you are a fashion marketer, you are in retail, and you are the manager of a store or a brand. You manage that brand and you see the sales and everything. And that again, for that to happen, you need to know and have a degree, professional degree in fashion design. You can be an artist, of course, and be a graphic designer as well. So fashion graphic designers are also required a lot by all of these big brands of fashion or fashion houses, and the new one on the plate is being a fashion lawyer. So for all these brands and houses where there is an issue of copying a lot of designs, they hire lawyers, and if that lawyer has a background in fashion, it is much easier for them to claim the rights over the disputes over the different designs and knockoffs.
How important are internships and the entry-level jobs as prospects in the field of fashion design?
It is very essential and very important for them to be out in the industry and do the internships, and do internships in different types of roles. So not just go for just same kind of role where you're maybe in the retail and you're assisting a VM, so you're doing it for like months. No, I believe if there is 6 months of internship, they should go for 6 different roles where they are interning in different job roles, and that's how they get the exposure to what's going to come in the future for them after they are graduating, and they know the pressure of each of the roles, and then they can accordingly select where they really want to go.
Lastly, do you have any advice for the aspiring fashion designing students?
The only advice that I can give them is to be an original, be creative, and be thoughtful.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights and advice. Your expertise will significantly assist aspiring fashion designers in making informed decisions and prospering in their careers.
Thank you so much, Animak.